That ping from your phone, that looming deadline at work, the constant buzzing hum of the 24/7 news cycle feeding you one crisis after another. Our world feels like a storm of endless information and relentless demands. In all this chaos, does a truly calm mind feel less like a skill you can learn and more like some distant, impossible dream? We're told to hustle harder, stay more connected, and squeeze every last drop out of our day. But this constant state of being on is taking its toll. It shatters our attention, floods our bodies with stress hormones, and leaves us feeling perpetually anxious, exhausted, and just running on empty. It's a kind of spiritual exhaustion, a deep sense of unease that no amount of productivity hacks or digital detoxes seems to fix. And we're left asking, is this all there is? A life spent just reacting to the noise, lurching from one urgent thing to the next? Well, what if I told you there's another way? A way that's been tested and proven for thousands of years. Long before our modern anxieties even had names, the world's wisest minds, from the Stoic philosophers in ancient Rome and Greece to Buddhist sages and monks in remote monasteries, were all wrestling with the exact same problem. How do you find peace in a world that's full of chaos? They didn't have smartphones or social media, but they faced war, disease, political turmoil, and profound personal loss. And through it all, they discovered a powerful, timeless secret, a secret to unshakable inner peace. They understood that calm isn't something you find, but something you build. In this video, we're going to decode these ancient teachings. We'll pull back the curtain and reveal a simple, unified system for living a life free from the grip of stress and full of a deep, abiding contentment. This isn't a history lesson or some abstract philosophy. This is a practical guide to reclaiming your mind. So let's explore the 4 pillars that unite these ancient traditions. The first pillar is maybe the most powerful, and it all starts with a simple, life-altering question. Is this within my control? The Stoic philosophers called this the dichotomy of control. They taught that our anxiety and frustration almost always boiled down to a single mistake, trying to control things that are ultimately uncontrollable. Think about it. The traffic, the weather, what somebody else thinks of you, the outcome of a global event, these things are completely outside your power. And yet, how much of our mental energy do we spend spinning our wheels worrying about them? The Stoics argued that real power and peace come from radically narrowing our focus to the only things we do control: our thoughts, our judgments, and our actions. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, probably the most famous Stoic, wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He reminds us that our mind can be an inner citadel, a fortress that stays unshaken by the chaos outside, but only if we discipline our judgments. This very same idea echoes in the quiet halls of monasteries. Monks and sages practice a form of radical acceptance, or what the Stoics called amor fati, a love of fate. It's not about being passive or just giving up. It's about seeing reality for what it is and not wasting precious energy fighting it. Buddhist teachings emphasize letting go of attachments and desires, especially the desire for things to be different than they are. This letting go is a form of liberation. It frees you from that exhausting cycle of wanting, resisting, and suffering. So, the first step is a practical one. The next time you feel that knot of anxiety tightening in your gut, just pause and ask, what part of the situation do I actually control? More often than not, you'll find the only thing you can control is how you choose to respond. Let go of the rest. This isn't weakness, it's the highest form of wisdom. The second pillar that unites these traditions is an unwavering focus on the present moment. Your mind is a natural time traveler. It loves to journey into the past to replay old regrets, or blast off into the future to rehearse imaginary disasters. The problem? You don't live in the past or the future. You live right here, right now. And as both Stoics and monks understood, anxiety simply cannot survive in the present moment. The Stoics had a word for this, prosos. It means paying constant, vigilant attention to your thoughts and actions in the here and now. They didn't see this as a passive meditation, but as an active, moment-to-moment state of alertness. Seneca, another great Stoic, warned against being a slave to the future, writing, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." This, of course, is the absolute heart of Buddhist practice, known as mindfulness or sati. Mindfulness is the non-judgmental observation of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they pop up. When you're mindful, you aren't trying to stop your thoughts or clear your mind. You're just watching them, like clouds passing in the sky without getting swept away by the storm. Monks have used mindful breathing for centuries as an anchor to the present. When the mind wanders, you gently guide it back to the physical sensation of the breath, the inhale, the exhale. This simple act is a powerful workout in mental discipline. This practice is profoundly calming because it short-circuits anxious thinking. When you're fully engaged in the present, whether you're washing the dishes, taking a walk, or just breathing, you aren't worrying. You are simply being. So, the second step is to ground yourself in the now. Feel your feet on the floor. Pay attention to your breath. Engage your senses with whatever you're doing. The past is gone, the future isn't here yet. The only point of power you have is this very moment. The third pillar is the art of detachment, or what we could simply call letting go. Now, this isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of things you were never meant to carry. Both Stoics and Buddhist monks understood that so much of our suffering comes from attachment. We pin our happiness to external outcomes. Getting that promotion, finding the perfect partner, earning someone's approval. When those things don't work out, or even when they do, and we find out they don't bring lasting happiness, we suffer. The Stoics practiced this kind of detachment with an exercise called premeditatio malorum, or the negative visualization. They would intentionally imagine losing the things they cherished most, their health, their wealth, even their loved ones. This might sound morbid, but its purpose was brilliant. By thinking about loss, they prepared themselves for adversity and grew a deep sense of gratitude for what they had in that moment. It taught them that their inner peace should never depend on things that could be taken away. Similarly, a core idea in Buddhism is non-attachment. Monks practice letting go of cravings and aversions, recognizing that all things are impermanent. They see that clinging to things that are, by their very nature, temporary is a direct path to suffering. The goal is to cultivate a mind that can experience pleasure without clinging to it, and pain without resisting it. This creates an incredible inner freedom. The practical step here is to simplify. Monks have known for centuries that a cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind. Practice letting go, not just of physical junk you don't need, but also mental baggage. Let go of old grudges. Let go of the need for everyone to like you. Let go of your rigid ideas about how life should be. In letting go, you don't really lose anything. You gain peace. The final unifying pillar is the understanding that a calm mind is built on a foundation of virtuous living. Peace isn't just about what you think. It's about who you are and what you do. For the Stoics, the ultimate goal was a life of virtue. They identified 4 core virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. They believed that acting with virtue was simply living in line with our true nature as rational social beings. When you act with courage, when you're scared, or with justice and fairness toward others, you are reinforcing your inner citadel. You're less likely to be yanked around by emotional turmoil, because your actions are guided by a steady internal compass, not by fleeting passions. This lines up beautifully with the Buddhist concept of the Eightfold Path, which includes right action, right speech, and right livelihood. Buddhists also place a huge emphasis on cultivating metta, or loving kindness and compassion, for all beings, including yourself. This isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling, it's an active practice. By wishing others well, by acting with kindness, you dissolve feelings of anger, jealousy, and resentment, the very poisons that disturb your own peace. Both traditions recognize that living ethically isn't about following rules to get a reward in the afterlife. It's about creating harmony in your own mind, right here and now. So the final step is to live with intention. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on your actions. Did I act with courage, with kindness, with self-control? Don't beat yourself up, but use it as a chance to learn and grow. A life aligned with your deepest values is a life of profound and resilient calm. So, there you have it. The secret shared by Stoics, sages, and monks isn't some mystical, unobtainable thing, but a unified system of practical wisdom. First, focus only on what you can control and accept the rest. Second, anchor yourself in the present moment. Third, practice the art of letting go of what doesn't serve you. And fourth, build your life on a foundation of virtue and compassion. These aren't quick fixes. They're disciplines. They take practice, patience, and commitment. But the promise of these ancient traditions is that you have the power to change your relationship with your own mind. You can build your own inner citadel, a fortress of calm that can withstand any storm life throws at you. The peace you're searching for isn't out there, it's waiting right inside you. If these ideas resonated with you, and you want to keep exploring ancient wisdom for modern problems, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're building a community of people dedicated to living with more intention and peace. Thanks for watching. Here, we explore history, politics, culture, religion, personal growth, and the lessons of civilization, from ancient Rome to modern America. We believe the Renaissance isn't over. It's waiting inside anyone who chooses curiosity, courage, and conscience. Living the Renaissance spirit means engaging with history as a dialogue, not just with the past, but with the future. Our work is a message to posterity. Will they inherit justice and wisdom, or wonder why we failed to act? Because if history is collapsing in real time, someone has to narrate the fall and plant the seeds of what comes after. Live the Renaissance spirit. History has not died, only our understanding of it.